All right, what's up everybody? Today we have an exciting video in store for you. You know, we've been getting so many questions and reach outs regarding Helene, the hurricane that just came to Florida, and earlier in this year we had Debbie. So we thought we would do a little video and show you how we protect our clients when they are purchasing a home in Florida from having any kind of damage from a storm. What's up everybody? My name's Francesca Hanaho.
And I'm Richard Hanaho.
If this is your first time to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap on the notifications while you're there so you get notified every time we do a new video just like this one, showing you all of Sarasota County, where to live, eat, sleep, work, play, and we absolutely love it. And listen, ever since we've been doing these videos, we've been getting so many calls and texts and reach outs from people just like you wanting to relocate to the Sarasota County area, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, whichever one you prefer. But we do not stop working until you are a Sarasota County resident. All right, well, first I want to start off by saying that all of our clients were completely high and dry during this storm that we just had, Helene, and they were totally fine during Debbie as well. I know there's been a lot of talk about Florida and all of the flooding going on, so I'm going to have Richard tell you and show you guys how we protect our clients when they're purchasing a home from being in any kind of, danger when these storms come through.
So today we're going to show you several things. We're going to show you homes that are 6 miles in from the Gulf side, if you will, the west side. We're going to show you homes that are right on the Gulf, and then we're going to show you homes that are in the intercoastal area, and then we're going to tell you how we protect our clients when they are moving forward on purchasing a home in one of these areas.
Yes.
Now, to get started, the most important thing that you want when you're looking to purchase a home is you want to be in what's called flood zone X.
Yes.
Or sometimes flood zone X500. That is very important. That means that your property is out of the 500-year floodplain. So important. If you're out of that 500-year floodplain, then you probably are not going to get hit with what you just got hit with if you were in a floodplain with the hurricane that just came through here. So it's very important that you're in that flood zone X. Now, there's other things that we analyze in and around your actual property that you may be purchasing, whether you're buying a piece of dirt, whether you're buying a home. There's just things that we analyze. We do the due diligence for you. I want to make myself very clear here. Don't trust the builders on what they tell you about where that home is located, whether it's flood zone X or AE. You don't want to trust the builders. You don't want to trust a listing agent. You don't want to trust the seller. You want us to do the due diligence for you. So,
and let me, since you're saying that, because the floodplain did just change, correct?
Correct. March 27th, they changed the floodplain. That made a big difference here in Sarasota County with a lot of different new construction builders. They had to raise their lots, put a lot of people that weren't in a flood zone in a flood zone. So it was a good change by FEMA. So we could have another one coming here. So to protect you, we're going to analyze that property in several different ways. And the main way we're going to analyze the property is we're going to look and see what's going on around your property. Okay. Yeah. For example, where is the closest storm inlet? Where is the closest storm water storage pond? Where is the closest conservation area? Where is the closest wetland area? These are all critical things to the flow of water around your property and how the water flows around your property and into these ponds. So these communities, if you guys are watching our videos, background is builder developer, started out in development. So horizontal construction is my thing, vertical is as well. But when it comes to the horizontal construction, we're very focused on where's the water going. When the water hits your roof, it comes off your roof, hopefully it goes into your gutters and it hits the swales on the side of your house, and it goes out to the road or it goes out to the ponds behind you. So that's very important. So just to give you an example, we're in a new construction community right now. And one of the most important things that we focus on for our clients while their houses are getting built is, okay, where is their nearest storm inlet in the ground? Because when we're under construction, there's houses with dirt on the sides of them. Like if you see over here to the left, I mean, this dirt's just sitting over here, but you know, when we have a big storm, which we have storms all the time here in Florida, where's all this dirt gonna go? It's gonna go into the road. Once it gets out to the road, typically it's gonna go find the storm inlet, which I call a curb inlet, and it's gonna go into that curb inlet, and then the water and the sediment is gonna go out to a pond. Well, these builders, they pretty much do a good job on making sure that these storm inlets are cleaned out and water can flow through them and get the water away from your house. But sometimes, you know, they can't keep up with all these storms, and sometimes they get clogged. Once they get clogged, we have problems, all right? So that's what you need to be focused on, is where is the water going, and we're gonna show you in this video. All right, so we're gonna give you an example of a storm inlet. So this is a curb inlet right here. So what happens is when all the water comes off the rooftops and everything, they come right down this curb right here and they go in here. So just so you know, in this area that we're in, this is the lowest part of the road, okay? And we're gonna show you some other houses with these curb inlets in front of them. But here it is, a curb inlet. So the water flows in here, it goes across the street. There's another inlet here where water goes in, and ultimately this water goes out to this pond out here. So this is a stormwater pond out here. This collects the water after the storms. Then this pond actually is connected to another pond, which then is connected to another pond. And literally it goes throughout the community is how it works. And then at some point it comes to a pond that has overflow storage. And what will happen is that water will percolate up and it'll go into an overflow storage area. If you've seen, like, you know, what looks like a pond and it should have water in it and there's no water in it, that's an overflow storage pond. So the water will percolate in there. Now let's just say that one fills up. Then the next step is it's gonna go out to a wetland or a conservation area. And that's how the infrastructure should be set up to keep the water away from your home. And that is what is so great about new construction. All right, so here we're gonna give you an example of a storm inlet that has got debris in it, right? So if you look down here, you can see the storm inlet, it's got debris in it. Yeah, we haven't had any major rain in the past couple of days, so we don't have any buildup here. But what happens is this will fill up, the road will fill up with water, and if you remember what I said earlier, when you have a storm inlet right here, this is the lowest point of the road. So all the water is coming from that way, and it's coming from that way. And it's all flowing here so that it can get into the pond that is behind us, okay? So I'll just tell you a story. I had a client, you know, he had his house under construction, and he gave me a call, and he said, Richard, you know, we just had some major rain. He's like, I think there's a problem with my house. And
it was actually right after Debbie.
It was right after Debbie is when it happened. And his storm inlet clogged up. And again, he was at the low point of the road. And the water, we had so much rain and water come in that the water actually backed up towards his house and literally was right near the garage. So he was pretty much freaking out, like, you know, what's gonna happen in the future? You know, I had a lot of questions for me. We were on the phone for about 45 minutes so I could explain everything to him and how infrastructure works so that he could feel a level of comfort moving forward on his home, because at that point he was like, Richard, I don't want to buy this house because I don't want to worry about it flooding. Even though if I get flood insurance, I don't want to have to worry about that. So what I had to explain to him was quite a lot, but I want to show you a couple things. So when your home is completed, like over here, you got gutters, the water flows into the grass, everything stabilizes, the water percolates into the grass, and then some water comes out here to the road. But as you can see on this side, all that we have coming out is dirt. So that's what's happening. So that's what happened to him. His actual property, the house was built like this, but he had all this dirt just flow into the drain, clog it up. That's how the water got towards his house, and it had nowhere to go. So the builder had to wait for it to stop raining. After it did, the builder came out, they cleaned out the drain, all the water went into the drain, went out to the storage pond, and everything was fine. So that is something that you really have to be focused on in new construction. And what we do for our clients is when we have major storms that come through, hurricanes, even small major storms that, you know, repeatedly come, we'll go actually walk or drive out and walk the property to make sure that, you know, there's no water intrusion coming on there. And I think that's very important. All right, so a little bit more about drainage, and then we'll get that over with. It's very important that you have a good swale between your house. So let me explain to you how these two houses drain right here. If you look in between these two houses, you'll see that some of the water drains to the back of the house, and some of the water drains to the front of the house to get out in the street. So in this case, if it's draining to the back, you'll see that there is a pond back there, so it drains into the pond and then obviously into the road. It's very important that there's a good swale built between your home when it is completed. It's also important that there's a nice swale in between the houses when they're under construction, so you can avoid the problem like one of our clients had. All right, let's move on to the next things here. So what's really important, I don't care where you are, in Sarasota County, I think it's really important that you have, a cement concrete tile roof with a nice membrane under it to protect your house. So the membrane is basically stuck to the plywood on top of your home, and that's what seals your home so no water penetrates into your roof. The tile is on top for aesthetics and protection when we have storms, so debris, things of that nature. I think it's really important that you install gutters on your home if you don't have them, so that you can get the water away from your house. As you can see, this gutter here drains to the side of the house, drains into the swale, and then it goes out into the road and it gets it away from your house. Anything you can do with your home, get water away from it, is something that you need to focus on. The next thing is that I want to talk about is we always tell our clients, we prefer you to buy block construction. And I'll tell you why. Wood frame construction in the state of Florida just is not that great to have. And the reason why is because all our humidity and our moisture and everything like that, there's a lot more deferred maintenance that needs to be done. And typically, if you have a wood frame home, it'll have stucco on the outside of it. You get a stucco crack, water gets inside. If water gets inside, it gets to the drywall. And drywall and water do not like each other. They make that four-letter word nobody wants to talk about. So we like first floor block construction. We prefer second floor block construction, but not all builders do it. There's only a few out there that do it. So when you have the second floor wood frame construction, like this particular home right here, it's very important that there's not stucco on that second floor if you can avoid it. Because here's the deal. If you have wood frame, again, just like the first floor, you have it on the second floor, you have a block home, first story is block, second story is wood frame, we get a bunch of wind going on, what's happening? Your house is moving a little bit at the top. And well, if that home is covered with stucco on that second floor wood frame, it's going to crack, again, like that first floor I was talking about, and water is going to get intruded into your house. And not a lot of people have time to walk around their house all the time after a storm to make sure there's no cracks. So a lot of builders have made a big change in Florida. What they're doing is they're putting siding on the house. So they're using like hardy board or cement board. That we prefer 100%. There is still deferred maintenance that you have to do. You have to do some caulking and some painting and things of that nature, but you don't have to do it as often, and you don't have to worry about that stucco cracking and actually falling off the side of your home.
Just to add one more layer to that, there is a community that we've done videos on that we really liked, and they started out doing second story, just stucco, and the community has not done well. It has not aged well, the new homes. So now they've changed it, and their two-story homes, they're doing what this home has, the hardy board.
Really, at the end of the day, when you have a community where there's stucco on that second floor, and then you have this hardy board or cement board on the second floor, it's going to affect your property value in the future. And so that's something we're really focused on for our clients.
Yeah, this community shall not be named, but if you want to know what community I'm talking about, make sure you reach out to us and I'll tell you. Okay, so we are standing on Venice Island, and this is super sad because the last video we did, if you caught it, we showed you all the 17 miles of beaches. If you're living in Venice, Florida, we showed you Golden Beach, which is one of my favorite areas of the island of Venice because the residents have private access here to the beach. So they have their own private beach, and it's really just a really cute little area here on the island. But this is where the storm surge came up.
This is what's really sad about this part of the island is like we're really focused on the island. We know the elevations of the island, but we'll get to that a little bit more. But right here on this part of the island really is the lowest. We are like at 10 feet. So the storm surge, really, I don't know exactly how high it came up right here, but it did come over the dunes that are right behind us over here.
Yeah.
And if you want to look over here, you see all the dead grass really over this house to the right. The grass that's dead shows you how the storm surge came up, and that's how far it went. As you go down that street, the elevation increases. So we're at 10 feet here, but down the street, they're at 20 feet and it goes up to 30 feet. Down over here in this area, we're gonna take you for a little drive here, but this is where it goes even lower. So, you know, just to go back to what we do for our clients, one of the things that we do is we're checking elevation. And most importantly, you know, that flood zone X is what we're looking for. So yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of damage over here. These people had to rip everything out of their homes. They had to rip out the drywall, and now they have to redo everything. Yeah, so as you can see, like we're declining down here, and really, if I'll show you some elevation. Hey Siri, show me a compass.
It's really so heartbreaking to see all these people having to empty out their houses.
So right now I'm showing 0 foot elevation right now on the phone. You can see right here, 0 foot elevation.
Wow.
And then now we just climbed to 10 feet. And if you look over here to your left, you can see over here, obviously they were low down there.
Oh, low.
Anywhere you see trash in front of the house, they were low. This house, however, they built their house up. So they're up. I don't know if they're in flood zone X, but that's one of the things that we would be checking on for the home, and then we'd be looking at the 100-year floodplain. And now we know, being here right now, we know what houses are high enough from the storm surge that we just had.
Yeah, it looks like this home didn't have as much.
But this is what happens when you're in a flood zone.
Here's another home that's up high and dry.
That's a good example, and we're going to take you, you know, through here just a little bit. So as we go forward here, you know, we're kind of on an incline. We're at 25 feet right now, and you know, it gets safer, if you will, as you get to Harbor Drive. So here's Harbor Drive. It's kind of, you know, in the center of the island, and the more east you go onto the island, the higher it goes. Now, of course, there is, you know, several elevation changes throughout the island. You know, there's other parts that are in the interior that do dip down a little bit, and you'll see houses that are raised up. But on the island, that's one of 3 places on the island that had damage. So, you know, really, Venice Island didn't get hit very hard.
All right, now we're going to take you to one more location on Donut Bay over here to just show you another example of what to do versus what not to do. And I just want to say one more time, my heartfelt prayers for all of the people that were affected by the storm, because, you know, I actually feel like for once Florida was kind of spared a little bit, even though our beaches, and I know for sure here, like Minnesota Key and Casey Key definitely had a lot of damage. There's a lot of people that lost their homes.
Siesta Key
and Longboat Key also got hit very hard. But, you know, seeing the videos and the footage of North Carolina and Tennessee and Georgia and what happened there is just devastating. So really my heart just goes out to all of those people that are suffering at this point in time. So again, you know, we just wanted to do this video to show you how to protect yourself when you are moving here. There are ways to avoid some of these areas, and just to make a smart decision when you're purchasing a home here.
Okay, so we're just north of the island. You know, we came off of the North Bridge in the island, went north on Tamiami Trail, and we're here on Donut Bay, where Nokomos is. But as you can see here, these homes here, some of them are lower, some are built up. So you can see that the storm surge came in here Obviously this house here, an older home, it's low. So they obviously, had issues. This home here as well. But our main reason for being over here right now is really to show you that if you are going to purchase a home on the intercoastal or on the bay or any of those areas, you really just have to analyze the home properly, and that's what we're here for, is to help you analyze the home before you buy it. A lot of these homes aren't going to be in flood zone X just because of how close we are to the water, but as we turn the corner here, you're going to see that there's a lot of newer homes that are being built. So you'll see here, this home was back here. That was built up unscathed. This house is built up a little bit. You can see they built it up so that they could have some water run under their home. So that's what happened here. You have an older home here, obviously flooded out. Now, just to give you an idea of new construction, look what they did here. So they built this home up. It did take on some water. They didn't go high enough. So that does happen. So as we go down the street, you'll see here that, this is an older home, and it definitely took on water here. There was actually a boat.
There was a boat in the front yard the other day.
So obviously they got flooded here.
Just the water's over here, just to give you some perspective here.
Yeah,
so this home's been underwater since Hurricane Ian, so now they're trying to sell it. I don't know if anyone's buying that, but.
So they built up right here, and they did get a little bit of water up there. And we'll just keep going down the street, and this house is under construction right here.
And this one's built up nice.
This is built up high. They didn't get any water. They may have got some water in the garage, but that's not a big deal. You don't have to rip your house apart for that. So really it's just about what elevation you build on. A lot of these houses are getting knocked down, and unfortunately, due to this hurricane that we just had, more will get knocked down. So there is going to be a lot of opportunity to build new homes here. And really all you have to do is import the dirt and get your home up high enough, and you're good.
Like this home's totally high and dry.
So again, we'll just kind of sum it up for you. If you're interested in purchasing a home and you're a little bit scared being close to the water, you really don't need to be. You just need to buy the right home. And if you're considering building a house on the island, definitely reach out to us. We know what builders can take care of you. Make sure that your house is high and dry. All right, well, I hope you got something out of this video. And what we want you to know is we are your Sarasota County specialists. If you have any questions on where you should build and where you shouldn't build, feel free to comment below. Give me a call, shoot me a text. I'll help you out.
All right, that concludes this video on how to protect yourself when you are purchasing a home here in Florida. Like Richard said, make sure you reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, whichever one you prefer. All right, guys, we will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
It was fun. We'll see you on the next one.